Let me share with you one of the greatest success stories of environment negotiations ever. Indeed, it may be one of the greatest success stories of any sort of negotiations on this planet. That's the Montreal Protocol. At this day, 16th of September 1987, all governments of the entire world came together in Montreal, Canada, and agreed upon the Montreal Protocol. And it has been so successful. I think you know the background. In the 1970s, we gradually came to understand that the many substances we were using in refrigerators and in many other appliances in our homes were deadly poisonous. They destroyed the ozone layer, which gives us protection from the very, very dangerous radioactive rays from the sun. And we saw statistics coming up from nation after nation that skin cancer were skyrocketing. But fortunately, we are not always able to do that, but fortunately the world came together to resolve the problem. They agreed upon the Montreal Protocol to resolve it, but even much more importantly, they didn't just talk, they walked the talk. And today we can safely say that every government on the entire planet has implemented the protocol, and we have been able to phase out these poisonous, deadly gases. And we see the result, because recent research shows us that the ozone layer is now healing, it's gradually coming back, and we can be so optimistic to believe that by around 2050 it may have been fully restored. What a success! There's every reason to celebrate. Let's try to do the same in other areas and think of how much suffering this has resolved. We have probably reduced 2 million or avoided 2 million cases of skin cancer on the planet every year. That are 2 million people, most of them who would have been dying if we were not able to come together to resolve the problem. So Montreal Protocol should lead us into the future. It's so successful. If this seems somewhat similar to you, I bet it is because we are facing very similar issues in the world today. We are not in the business of trying to avoid cancer coming down from the sky because that is resolved, but we are in the business of avoiding dangerous warming of the planet. The world came together last year in Paris to agree on the Paris Agreement to avoid climate change or to reduce climate change. That agreement we need to handle exactly as we handled the Montreal Protocol. We need to walk the talk, we need to implement it, not just to talk. Fascinatingly enough, the Montreal Protocol may also help us on climate, because when we were able to reduce the depletion of the ozone layer, we introduced some new gases. They're called HFCs, difficult word, but meaning hydrofluorocarbons. This stuff was much, much better for the ozone layer, and we avoided a huge number, maybe millions of cancer cases because we introduced this. But it is also at the same time a very potent, very dangerous climate gas. So we are now possibly able to use the Montreal Protocol to phase out this and introduce new substances which neither are dangerous for the ozone layer nor for climate. And this is a topic for the Kigali conference of the Montreal Protocol, which will happen in Kigali, Rwanda, in the second week of October this year. All governments in the world will come together with one real aim, and that is to phase out also the HFCs, the hydrofluorocarbons, so that we can protect the ozone layer while at the same time avoid dangerous warming of the planet. We are very, very close to a deal in Kigali. Obviously, there are, as always, different interests. I mean, the developed world, the developing world have somewhat different interests, but we have seen governments closer and closer and closer to agreement, and we need really to grab that opportunity in Kigali. Please make a political atmosphere or contribute to a political atmosphere in your nation where a deal will be possible in Kigali. If we put people front and center for our policies, if we really want to improve the situation of the average human being of this planet, there is nothing more important we can do in the rest of this year than making this deal, which avoids 0.4 degrees warming of the planet. So let's just do it.